And so subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Definitely hit the like button on the YouTube side, man, so we can get that push. Hit that retweet button over on the Twitter side, because Twitter does not push at all. That is the weird part about Twitter. We get a ton of people over there that watch and listen. I appreciate every one of you guys, but after the video's up, that's your views. Nobody's tapping in later. Nobody's rewatching, so we got to keep building up the audience. Let's keep this thing moving along, though, with the Josh Giddey edition.
Yeah.
Draft wise, when you look at this Chicago Bulls team, where do you feel the Bulls now need to address the most? Because I think there was a lot of people that were looking at this team going, okay, maybe you need to go wing, definitely need to go big. But now with the addition of Josh Giddey, you kind of get a weird lineup, right? Your point guard is 6'8".
Yeah.
He's probably not guarding point guards on a night in, night out basis, which is a scary thing to think about. Are you going with a wing player? Are you still looking to go with a big man? When you look at the draft right now, who are you looking at that fits this team the most?
I'm looking at this mock draft that they had on a website, NBC Sports website, and there's a few names that I know we've mentioned a few times that actually are going to be under where the Bulls are picking. You've mentioned Kyle Filipowski from Duke. I feel like he's a really, really good high upside, high energy guy who I think will impact within his role right off the bat. He's one of those guys that is just built for, his role. Big man who can run the floor, rebound, give you energy. Like, that's who I think we need, especially if we're going to keep Vooch to complement Vooch or to, spell him when he's not on the court. I like Filipowski. I know you don't want to hear it, but also like Zach Edey. It is what it is. I know Zach Edey is not a guy that everybody's really high on, but, I mean, you can't deny his size. That's someone that I wouldn't mind getting as well, that I think maybe Giddey can make it even better, now that we have a point guard that can distribute the way he does. I don't know.
That would be interesting. I'm not going to lie. Like, the entire Zach Edey conversation has been built around, right, Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, like the lineup you had last season.
Giddey.
But now with Giddey in the room, I do wonder if a guy like Zach Edey would flourish with a point guard like that. That would be interesting to see. And you would think you'd have more shooters around him. Here's my thing, though, and I do think that this is the one thing for me. You got enough bigger guards that I'm not as worried about the wing position. Plus, you got Ayo Dosunmu, who's got a ridiculous wingspan, can defend everybody, is able to knock down the three, all of that, right?
Yeah.
You have to fix your interior presence. It basically is non-existent, right? Like, this is
right. Yeah.
To me, this is a year where you come in and you have Vooch, who is a double-double every night, but he's not stretching the floor as a big man, which brings a lack of shooting into this team for the modern NBA. You also are probably going to lose Andre Drummond because he's finally looking to move elsewhere, because there's more money that can be gotten for him elsewhere, and so he wants to go put himself in a winning situation. You do what you do, Dre. I think that there's a lot of things that work in the right direction for the Chicago Bulls. So because of that, or I'm sorry, for Andre Drummond. So because of that, I think with the Chicago Bulls, you need to fix your interior. And there's two names right now that I think help with that. Now, one of them, I should say, there are two names that add size to this team. I don't know if they fix the interior. The one I've continued to mention is Kyle Filipowski. The two things Filipowski brings to me: able to get the ball off of the rim. If you pair him up with Josh Giddey, he's running the floor. And has an ability to get up and down the floor, can move the ball really well, and can knock down the three ball. Also is a solid shot blocker and somebody who can defend the rim, and I think that adds to it. My problem with Kyle Filipowski is he does not rebound. He is a okay rebounder, right? He's a 7-footer that is a little bit undersized, shall we say, as far as skinniness. So to me, when I look at a guy like Filipowski, I feel better about the games when you're going up against Chet. I feel better about the games when you're going up against Wemby, the slimmer guys in the league. But those days where you're going up against Joel Embiid, or you're going up against
Jokic.
Nikola
Yeah.
Jokic,
Yeah.
or Isaiah Hartenstein, or you're gonna have a long day.
Yeah.
Right? Those days when you're going up, heck, I'll say those days you're going up against a dude like Wendell Carter Jr. He's undersized, but he can move you out of his way. He's probably gonna break his shoulder on the way, but still. Right? Like, to me, the problem with Filipowski is, and I think he's a phenomenal player. I think he's going to be good in the league, but I do think that there is are you addressing rebounding? To me, with that lineup, you're saying we want shooters. I'm fine with that. Let's shoot. Let's go out here and shoot the lights out. There's not a lot of defense happening with that lineup.
Now, Drummond doesn't want to be here anymore, is the consensus, right? Because
the latest that we've heard is that he's opting out and he's gonna look elsewhere.
He wants to see what else is going on. See, because to me, that's the guy who I would love to keep. I mean, you already know what Drummond does. He provides a presence in there somewhat. I mean, he's not that reliable, but he gives you some defense on the interior. But you know what he does as far as rebounding. One of the best to do it. So if we're losing that already, and we have Vucevic, who is a good. I've always viewed Vucevic as a very good situational rebounder, like he's in the right spot at the right time. You need somebody who's going to go after rebounds, and to me, is just younger at this point. So yeah, I do love the Filipowski. You're saying that he's not somebody that rebounds though. So if that's the case,
okay, he's a I'm 7 feet tall, so I got to get 7 of these.
So he's Eddie Curry,
no, because Eddie Curry
is worse.
Tall with size, and I'm gonna just not be big enough to do anything or have a post move committed to memory. Kyle Filipowski is more like everything that we thought Chet Holmgren and Wemby were gonna be. That's what Filipowski is on the boards.
Got you. Okay.
Well, we're like, there's no way he'll rebound like that at the NBA level. He will not. Yeah. But he will knock down the 3 on the other end.
I see some people in the chat. I know Rex mentioned it. Rex Smith and Illini, MCG said TSJ is going to be a good pro. That's a person I would pick just out of desire. I don't think that's the first or biggest need that the Bulls are looking at right now. I would love to have Shannon Jr. on this team, but I feel like that's a repetitive pick of who we already have here, especially if we're going to keep Patrick Williams. If Patrick Williams was gone, I'm all in on TSJ.
No, P. Will is still playing the 4, though.
But I think TSJ can come in as a 3 or a 4.
No.
I think his wingspan.
TSJ is a 2 or a 3.
He's 6'6", 6'7".
He's 6'6". He's got a 6'8" wingspan. Yeah, he's a 2 or a 3. He got to get a jump shot, too. Now, I do love shout out Santa in the chat. What up, fellas? He's coming back. Hashtag Zach.
Oh, boy.
I do love Terrence Shannon Jr. And y'all know my affinity to Illinois players coming in here. Last time we took one, it worked. But I
don't think he's going way before 11, Brian, by the way. I've seen plenty of mocks where I don't even see his name.
I don't know. Like, I think once the allegations were off the table, it was like, here we go. We've been waiting on this. I think there's going to be some surprises in this draft. All of a sudden, day before the draft, all of a sudden we're hearing about players just shooting up the draft left and right. It's like, what I see, I saw who had an interest in
Isaac Rusher. I forgot it. I don't know his name.
Zachary Richard is the other one. No, somebody had an interest in Zach Edey that was very high.
Really?
In the top 10? It was top 10. And I was like, there's no way. Like, if we see this, Portland. They said Portland has an interest in Zach Edey. And Portland is 9?
Portland is 7.
Portland is 7? I was like, there's no way, boys. Like, are we serious right now? Like, Portland has a real interest.
Yeah, they got Donovan. They got, unless Klingon is going, they got, in this mock draft, they got Klingon going to Portland.
Klingon might go high as well. I think Klingon could go. I saw a mock today, or I saw a report today that there's interest in the Spurs pairing Klingon up with Wemby.
Nasty.
That's nasty. That's nasty work, bro.
That would be disgusting.
Nasty work, bro.
That would be disgusting.
Pairing Klingon up with Wemby, but no, I think that to me, like when I'm looking at the draft right now, Terrence Shannon Jr. phenomenal. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's find a way to get it done. Yeah. But how are you addressing big man? That to me is where you have to figure out some kind of trade that gets you a big man from the Zach LaVine deal. And so if like I need another center in here. We heard the Walker Kessler is available deal. I would love to see that. Another name, if you were going to just draft him, bro, I love Walker Kessler. We're not even going to speak on it. Could have had him. Could have just drafted him. But no, Dalen Terry. That's your guy, right? That's your boy. I will say this. I
put in a lot of work in the offseason, by the way.
I dug up a stat doing some research yesterday on Dalen Terry coming off of or Dalen Terry when he's cutting last season. So basically gets the ball, passes, takes off to the bucket immediately. 75% completion percentage.
Amen.
It's not bad. It's not bad. But he don't do it. So no, anyway, but no, like to me, you got to go out and find your center that is going to be your center of the future now via trade. That's tough to do. Another big that I would look at that to me is very interesting, somebody that Hayes has loved throughout the entire process.
We got
Khalil Ware.
I have heard that name. Yeah, I don't know
he's
too much
he's
about
out of Indiana. He was 16 points a game last season, 9.9 rebounds, just under 10 rebounds a game. He's a dog, 58%. He's 7 foot, 242, comes in already ready to go. I think he understands his body. He's got some really interesting shooting potential as well. He can knock down the midi. He can knock down the three. Like there's a lot of upside to a guy like Khalil Ware. He made 42% on his 3-point shots last season. He shot 58% from the field, and he is not going as high as many have thought. Khalil Ware could be an absolute stud of a get if the Chicago Bulls were looking to bring somebody in to be a big. He could be a big of the future. And then to me, you let him ride the bench this season and slowly work his way up, or you try and package something with Zach and Vooch, which I don't know what deal that's going to be. Hey, you guys want $60 million of useless on the books, but you try to package something with Zach LaVine or move Zach and Vooch to different teams, whatever it is, and you bring Adama Sanago up behind him and let him be your backup big. Wow,
I forgot about Adama Sanago.
I love Adama Sanago, bro. I love players that just know their body. Yeah, I love players that are just like, yeah, I played in college for 4 years, so.
Yeah,
I got game. Like I know how to do this. Oh, okay. Thank you. We appreciate that. But yeah, I would love to see the Bulls do either that. My focus is on the big man position. I think that's where the Bulls need to focus in most.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, I see Khalil Ware in this mock draft at 21 going to New Orleans. Used to be Milwaukee's pick. Mentioned that he has 95 3-point attempts in 2 years in college and is also a credible rim protector. I'll take it. I mean, if this is a guy who, like you said, who you can bring in and develop him, let him watch. You know, if we keep Vooch or someone else that'll start and let him ease his way into getting more minutes, this is a guy who probably has some really good upside. As long as we pick somebody that is, can contribute, right? I like this draft overall, we know is not really special. Yeah. But they have some pieces here who, if you add them to a really good team or an up and coming team, they can have an impact. So yeah, I like that guy. I like that.
And guy. I think that's my thing about it. Like if you're the thing that the Bulls have to do to me in this draft is you can't get a project.
No.
Go get somebody that knows their game. Khalil Ware to me knows his game. Kyle Filipowski, I guess, is kind of a project, but he's more of a shooter. So I feel like I'm less worried about him shooting wise. But go get me somebody that's been in the league or been in college for 2 years minimum.
Yeah.
That understands, okay, this is how I do this. This is how I make this move. This is how I get to this spot. Go get me somebody that you're not sitting, that you expect to be contributing by the time the season ends. That's what I want to see the Chicago Bulls do, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, showing love. If you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Stay tapped in with us tomorrow. We got a big announcement coming you guys' way, something new that we're going to be adding to where you can find us and all of that, and possibly buy some things. Hey, now we got a lot coming you guys' way, so stay tuned in with us on that. And we're going to have coverage on any news that breaks. I mean, there's going to be a ton of news happening here probably over the next 24, 48 hours. I would expect a couple of trades. I would expect a couple of interesting rumors to get sparked up. So appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For the man, the myth, the legend, Jordan JC. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Now stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down, one love, C Red Nation. go the trash team. The other trash team,
much.
I'm not gonna say it.
Go Cubs, go.
Yeah, it's horrible. And hard hog hockey. And shout out to the Florida Panthers winning the Stanley Cup last night. That's about
Shout out to
all the hockey coverage you're gonna get on this show. Stay safe out there.